So hello and welcome, I'm Frederick Dunn, and today I'm going to save myself and you hopefully a lot of money by using a refurbished graphics card in your computer. In this case it's for my Dell XPS-8930, which is now 8 years old. And I got this graphics card from where? Best Buy online, because it was selling dirt cheap. Why was it cheap? Because it's refurbished. Clearly not new, but as good as new. That's what they say. You get a 90-day warranty, and then this card comes with it that lets you know that if you have a problem, you can contact somebody. And it comes in this anti-static bag. That's it. That's all the fancy packaging that you get. And here's the card. They're cool looking. They're designed to look at, it seems to me, even though it's going to be inside your computer housing where nobody's going to see it. 2 fans. That's cool too. So this thing is going to save me from having my computer crash when I was using Photoshop, raw image processing, and so on. Dual-RTX 4060 Ti, 8 gigs of video RAM. So I'm told, according to the forums, this thing is going to solve my problem. And I'm getting rid of my old 1080. So there it is. Has an HDMI plug and the ability to have 3 displays plugged into at once. Look at these dust covers on there. And I'll be using one of these when I put my monitor into it there. And this is going to be a very detailed step-by-step. I'm even going to show you how to update the graphics driver and everything else. So once again, this is the Dual-RTX 4060 Ti. And it's by NVIDIA Geforce. And look at the plug system here. You want to make sure that matches what you have. And if you want to know, I did upgrade the power supply for this computer too, because it was underpowered for the original graphics card. So there's a video link down below. You can see that, how to change and upgrade your power supply. Look at this, they put a little shield over the electronic circuit board here, and that's to keep your staticky fingers off of those connections so you don't mess things up. I think that's wise. There are probably a lot of people that are fumbling around out there. And this is a detailed checkoff list, step by step, what to do to make sure there's no conflicts with your graphics driver when you install the new one compared to the old one. So they want you to uninstall the old one first. And we're going to do that. I'm going to show you everything step by step. And you're going to get the latest studio driver, not the game ready stuff. This is about studio drivers. So we go into our device manager and you click on control panel there. And then we're going to go in and we're going to look at display drivers, right? Display adapters. And look, there it is. The one I want to get rid of, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 that crashes all the time. So we're going to uninstall it. We're going to get rid of it forever because we don't like it. And yeah, you're going to make sure that it's not running on any other systems. You don't have anything depending on it. You're going to attempt to remove the driver for this device. And then you're going to click uninstall. And before you do that, also you want to make sure and disconnect all your peripherals. So here's my little switch station down here. What a mess with all my SSDs connected to it. But I don't have to unplug them. I can just push the buttons, but I'm going to do both. Pushing buttons switches them off so they're mechanically isolated from the computer. And I'm also going to unplug everything and get it out of the way. So this gives you a little background on the computer system I'm using. It has an i7 processor, all the details for people that want to know. It also has 32 gigs of RAM. So this thing is pretty loaded. And the only bottleneck for me, the only problem was the graphics card. So we're going to fix that. And as I mentioned, if you are looking for a bigger power supply for your computer, I have details on that. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy that does his own IT work, and I'm going to download this stuff and do it just the way you would. I don't do this for a living, and if things go wrong, you did not learn about this here. But if it goes right, you could subscribe maybe and give it a thumbs up. So anyway, we want to make changes to my device, of course. So click yes. We want to agree to all this stuff and hit continue. And so we're installing the NVIDIA app, because I want to get my updates. Forget that game ready stuff. We want the NVIDIA Studio driver only. We're not gamers here. We do this for a living. We have important things to do. So accept that, and look, the app now is on my desktop. And so all I have to do then is click on this, and I can even have it update my drivers in the future whenever they come ready. And it happens a lot. So I'm going to look at drivers here. I want to see that things are installed because I put the studio driver on for the new card and saved it in my downloads on my computer just in case the internet could go out. I need it later. So remember, we're uninstalling the GTX 1080, which, by the way, super annoying. I would not recommend that. I thought it was great. And next thing we're going to do, make sure that it's gone, right? So now it's running from that video controller. Look, it's not even listed in the display adapters anymore. That's exactly what I wanted. So we're going to keep the app on. We're going to shut everything down and disconnect everything. So here we go. Computer is off. And I'm going to pull off all of my USB connected devices. Look at that. My little switchboard there doesn't have anything plugged into it anymore. The power is off. Can unplug everything from the front of the computer too. I've got all kinds of extra stuff connected to this. And I use a little Velcro strap to hold it in place so I can find them later. Don't create a headache for yourself. Reach back here, turn everything off, and then unplug it. There we go. And you want to make sure to touch the metal parts as often as you can to make sure there's no staticky charge left on your hands. And I use pipe cleaners here to hold all those USB connected devices together so I can find them easily later. Unlock this, the side panel is off, and we're going to pull this thing open, which houses the power pack and everything else. And it's going to give us access to the graphics card inside. What a mess, by the way. I don't miss getting in here because when I put the new power pack in, it has all these extra cables and stuff that are in the way. And so we're going to unplug the power to the graphics card right there on the right. It's an 8-pin system. There you go. Set that aside. By the way, I'm very happy with the power unit, power pack. Ignore the dust here. I should have been blowing this out or something. Should have kept it clean. Look at the little blue tab down there. That's what you want to flip off to the right. There it is. And it's released. So now we can just pull this thing out and look how easy it comes out. I know you're amazed by how clean everything is. I am too. And look, you want to make sure that the way that connects is identical to the way your new one is going to go in. And it is. Look at the dust there. Let's get rid of that for starters because some of you are probably bothered by it. Look, it's gone. It's clean. And this is where your new graphics card, your new refurbished, super cheap graphics card is going to go in. Don't you dare push on these fans. Don't grip it and let your fingers hold on to those. Those things have to spin at high revolutions. And let me get that wire out of the way there. It's trying to keep me from putting it in. I'm trying to show you every step so that I leave nothing out. And so we get that little piece in there. Remember, the blue tab is out of the way. That's going to hold it in place later. And we're just going to push it in. Super easy. And then you hear it kind of snap. Did you hear that? The little blue thing flipped over. I know it's out of focus. Let me put it in focus for you so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is. The little blue thing in the back. Clicked. It's holding things in place. Now we're going to have to hook up a power supply to it. See that little blue deal? Make sure. Don't play games. We don't want any wiggle room. Now you can also see that you have access to the HDMIs and the different graphics ports there. So, and the 8-pin adapter, it only goes in one way. Has all these little beveled edges on it and has a clip on top. So we're going to push that in here because this is the power supply to your unit. This is everything. And in it is going to go right there. It's clicked in. Smooth as can be. We're ready to go. We're just going to close this thing up. You have to move all these wires out of the way. That's very annoying. There's something else I want you to know. Keep all of your wires carefully away from these fans. If you put it in here and you don't see that you've got little connector wires and stuff rubbing against those fans, you're going to have a problem. So I use these fluorescent green pipe cleaners. You can use anything you want. And rather than jam all the wires in, look, I use gaffer tape and I just put my box back on the side, put the cover on. I put the plug in. I'm plugging all the USB stuff back in. Because we're going to test this thing out. We're going to see how it works. I think you already know that it did work, because how did I make the video that you're watching right now? I made it with this unit. See, it doesn't go in the HDMI opening. That display connection goes into one of those other display parts that had the dust cover on it. I put all my plugs back in the front there. Everything's going to be ready to go. I'm going to turn this on. I leave the economy mode off. And I just turn it on because you know what? The computer puts the demands on that power pack that it needs. So whatever it needs, we'll just turn it on. See if this thing works. See if it went well. What do you have to lose on a computer that's old anyway? And here comes the display. That's good news. The Dell thing comes up. It's installing things. I guess it's going to have to figure itself out again. Look at that. It's always good news when you change out a graphics card and you can see things on the screen afterwards. And it reinstalls everything. Don't know why I did all this stuff, but that's fine. Laser mouse ready to go. And so let's use the app. Let's make sure that we first things first update the drivers for this new graphics card. Let me see how things work. So it says no driver installed. That's good news, because that means the other driver deleted the way I wanted it to. And I want the studio driver. Remember, forget the game ready stuff. We don't play games here. We're all business all the time. And then we get down here, install application. Yes, I want it to install. And yes, I want it to make changes to my computer and make sure it says studio driver. And you're going to download that. And then it says it's installing the graphics driver. So it's today. Today, by the way, is December the 2nd. So installation's finished. That's good news. And then it has this cool function if you download the app to your computer where it shows, look, it's using GPU power 2 watts. Gives the temperature, voltage, the clock for video RAM. GPU utilization is 1%. That's very low, and the fan doesn't even come on unless it needs it. That's good news. I like it already. And look, there it is. Geforce RTX 4060 Ti. It's installed. It worked. It can work for you too, I hope. Save money. Get a refurbished one. So my original problem was CC was crashing. That is Photoshop Creative Cloud, right? Raw processing, anything that required a lot of rendering power, it would just sometimes freeze in the middle of a project and dump it. So the new graphics card works. 4060 Ti, 8 gigs of RAM, no more drops, no more crashes, very quiet. Got it from Best Buy, $289. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this beneficial.